Welcome to My Royal Reality with me, Ellis, where we'll be talking Christian-based motivation and inspiration for all things personal development and spiritual growth. We'll cover topics including Christian development, how to know your purpose, dreaming big, scripture, discipleship, Bible-based encouragement, Christian relationships, and your identity in Jesus. And always remember that as a daughter of God, through Jesus Christ, your reality is that you are royalty. So let's get going today. Our concept to think about is a flower does not think of competing with the flower next to it. It just blooms. And that's true. I mean, obviously I'm going to be facetious here, but you've never seen flowers side-eyeing the flower next to it, like all jealous of it being so beautiful and like getting so tall and all the attention from people, and people always come and smell that flower. Why don't they come and smell me? Oh my gosh, I know that sounds absolutely ridiculous, but it's true with people. It's like God could have created one kind of flower, but he likes variety. God could have created one kind of person that we all look the same, cookie cutter, but he likes variety. And there's so many different facets of how God designed us, like how we look, our personality, our gifts, and our talents. All of them were handpicked by God for the exact plan and purpose that he has for you, truly. And so think about so many verses in the Bible that talk about how intentional God is with creating you. For example, Psalm 139 verse 14 says, "I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well." So the grass is not greener on the other side. It's green where you water it. And I thought of a pageant, for example, because clearly you can see my crowns if you're watching the video. Yes, I did pageants. So yes, I was in front of judges. I was in front of the judge panel, and yes, in essence, the judges were comparing me or putting me next to the other girls, but I look at it a little different. I look at it as I was in competition with myself. I was doing all the work that I could to bloom, because in the back of my mind, I knew that God either had the title for me or he didn't, because you can't miss what's meant for you. And that's true. Obviously, with the state pageant for Miss Nebraska Teen USA and Miss Nebraska USA, God blessed me with winning those. But at the national pageants, Miss Teen USA and Miss USA, I didn't even make the top cut in those. So I really tried to frame it in my mind that I wasn't competing with the girl next to me. I was only competing with myself. I wanted to be the best version of myself showing up at Miss USA or showing up at Miss Teen USA, so that in my heart, I knew that I did everything I knew to do. Whether that's working out, whether that's interview preparation, whatever it is, I knew that I gave my all. And that's exactly what we need to remember in life, is that we just need to give our all. We need to focus on blooming ourselves. We don't need to be comparing ourselves to the girl next to us. She's running her own race. You need to run your own. And I need to remind myself, I'm running my own race. And that can be hard, looking at different gals who are maybe doing what you wish you could be doing. Man, I love her marriage, or wow, look at her kids, or wow, look at her career, or wow, look at her ministry, and you kind of just side-eye her, aka you're side-eyeing that other flower, and you're starting to size her up and size yourself up, and no, we don't want to do that. Romans 12:6 says, "In his grace, God has given us different gifts for doing certain things well." God has given you a certain gift for doing a certain thing well. And God has given her a certain gift for doing certain things well. So we don't need to be comparing ourselves to other people and competing with other people, because God has gifted them in ways he hasn't gifted you, but God has also gifted you in ways that he hasn't gifted them. And comparison is the thief of contentment. I mean, think about it. If you wake up in the morning and you feel good about the day, you're excited, you're hopeful, it's going to be a good day. And then if you check social media first, man, that can reframe the whole day. You start seeing what other people are doing and accomplishing, and you start experiencing some self-doubt, and your confidence starts shrinking, and you start feeling behind on life. And it's true. Comparison is the cancer of joy. And in Nehemiah 8:10, it says that the joy of the Lord is your strength. So if you don't have joy, that means you don't have strength. That's obviously a problem. And I can see how that's so evident with Satan working through comparison and social media, because it can really affect our joy. It can make our joy evaporate, in essence. And so we also need to monitor our thought life. In Philippians 4:8, it says, "Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things." So if you notice that those thoughts are coming in your head, we gotta make sure we first notice, but also don't allow yourself to keep thinking on them. It's a filter. I call it the Philippians 4:8 filter. The first thing is whatever's true. Okay, well, if it's not true, then it can't continue being thought about. Whatever's noble, whatever's right, whatever's pure, whatever's lovely. If that thought that's coming into your head does not pass through those filters, you can't keep thinking about it. And social media can be so dangerous, and that's why I keep bringing it up with, a flower does not think of competing with the flower next to it, it just blooms. Social media that's literally what it is. It's putting your life compared to the next person's life. And that can be dangerous because you think, oh, my life doesn't look like that. Okay, well, what are your goals, friend? What is your dream life? What has God told you to do? Compete with that. We're competing with ourselves. I heard this quote. I don't have it written down, but it's so good. And it said, I think John Bevere said it, where God is going to hold you accountable for what he had planned for you to do stacked up against what you actually did. And I was like, man, that's good. Obviously, we'll be judged for the things we did and didn't do. But in reality, we're also going to be judged for what we could have done, what God had written for us before the beginning of time to accomplish versus what we actually did. So, friends, that's the race we're in. That's who we're competing against, is ourselves. Are we using each day to the fullest? Like, each day is a gift. The present is a gift. That's why we call it the present. Every day is not promised to us. So what you want to say and what you want to find yourself saying is, I'm too busy running my own race to see how yours is going. Just like on a track. Again, it's a great analogy, but it's true. In a track meet, the runners are focused in their lane. James, my husband, actually ran cross country, and he told me, I never ran cross country, so I don't know these things, but he told me that if you look around, that slows you down. If you look to the person next to you, or if you're looking behind you trying to see if someone's sneaking up on you, that is going to slow you down. And so I love that with this quote is, I'm too busy running my own race to see how yours is going. And yes, I care about you. Yes, I care about each person, but I don't want to find myself comparing myself to the next girl, because she's running a race that God has called her to, and God has called me to run a race, and that's my own. And so I'll wrap this up by encouraging you to water yourself. Maybe you're a rose, maybe you're a tulip, but regardless, water yourself. Bloom where you are. And stop trying to morph into who she is and what she's doing, and do in your life what God has called you to do. Don't let other people's excellence intimidate you, but rather let it inspire you. Let it be a motivating factor. It's like, wow, she is rocking it at what she's doing. that inspires me to be better, to be more excellent. But just bloom. Just bloom. A flower does not think of competing with the flower next to it. It just blooms. So in closing, I hope you enjoyed today's topic. Please do me a huge favor and give this podcast a 5-star rating or give this video a like. Please also comment, follow, share, subscribe, leave a review, all the things social media related. And I really appreciate your support. I'm already looking forward to the next time we get to spend time together. And always remember, friend, that as a daughter of God, through Jesus Christ, your reality is that you are royalty.